Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Sag, this is going to be your September overview for your sun, your moon, your rising, cross watcher. If that is you, welcome to the channel as well. Guys, always discern the messages accordingly. Sag, it's been a while since I've got a reading out to you, and I'm happy to be able to do this for you today. I want to say quickly too, thank you to everybody who has liked, shared, subscribed, commented to the videos. I appreciate each and every single one of you. For those of you who are or who have donated to the channel, thank you very, very kindly. I appreciate that so very much. And those who are interested in booking personal reads, that information is found in the description box below and the about section of the page. Email is in there for you, and I will be happy to provide you with all of the information that you need to book. So, oh, and side note, I will say too, I need to make a separate video, but if you find me on Facebook or you see that the link for Calendly is in the description as well, do not use those. I cannot get them to sync up right. I don't know what's going on. I haven't even had the time to sit down and look at it 1:11 on the clock as I say this. So just bear with me. Use the email. It's the best way right now until I make some changes. Hopefully here in the next couple of weeks I'll have some time to reorganize things. But right now I just haven't had the opportunity to do so. So bear with me, please. I'm one person. So, you know, that's that. I don't know, Sag. Maybe that's how you're feeling. Like, I'm one person. I'm being pulled 1,000 different directions. So, yeah, that's that. So let's get to it, Sag. Let's see what's going on here over the overhaul is what Spirit is saying to September for you guys. See what's happening. I don't know what deck. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know, Saggy. We'll see. Something's going on. I can feel that already. Spirit is saying miscellaneous thoughts. So maybe your thoughts are kind of all over the place. The energy is all over the place. You're all over the place. I don't know. We'll see. Smoke and prayers. Sag. Okay, so I feel like, I don't know, it's almost like you're not fully believing in something. There seems to be a quip to something as well. I kind of feel like you're sitting back and it's almost like if you were sitting on a park bench and you're just watching the people pass you by. I don't know what to make of this quite yet, so bear with me here. So whether this is life passing you by, things passing you by, the timing to situations maybe feels like it hasn't been right, questioning what comes next, where you move forward from, Spirit says. It's like, Sag, if you're in something right now, whether this is work, life, love, it doesn't matter, there could be, like, you may not feel quite comfortable where you are, you know, regardless of what it is, where it's like you're kind of having some, I don't know if I want to call it hope. It doesn't really feel like hope. Goodness, I'm trying to put a finger to this one here. I don't feel like you're necessarily hopeful. I don't necessarily think that you're doubtful. I feel like you are, Spirit, kind of caught in an in-between space with something. That you may, again, this is either people or situations passing you by, or Sag, I can't shake the feeling that you're just watching right now. You're observing something, like waiting to see what happens and where it goes from there. Knowledge. Spirit just said, are you looking to the past to rectify the answers for the future? Sag, it's funny because, like, when I talk about, like, you being this observer, even when it talks about past energy, I don't feel like you're in the past. I don't feel like you're in the present, and I don't feel like you're in the future. It's kind of like this space of limbo, and it's maybe in a moment, and I don't even know if it's a personal awareness that you're just trying to keep, you may feel like you're just trying to keep things together somehow. 5:05 on the clock. You know something needs to change. You don't know how it's going to change, why it would change, what's the possibility of change. But it's just like, you may feel like your intuition is being blocked. You may feel like you can't see. Like, I'm looking at this guy, and I love this card specifically. And there comes that wisdom and knowledge, Sag, of this mastery, right? And he's sitting there, and typically I would see him in this space of being well-grounded, sees all, knows all. He's got everything under control. He's done exactly what he's needed to do. But when I look at him, they point out to me the third eye, and it's almost like he's struggling. It's like you crunch your forehead, and you're like, oh, I don't know. It's like trying to look through a dense fog when you're driving and not being able to see, a quarter of a mile in front of you. That's how this feels to me. Is very... Spirit just said the complacency has not served you. And I think there's, whether this is, I'm going to call this a stuckness, Sag, of not, oh my God, this energy is complicated. Holy smokes. So when we talk about the stuckness, okay, this is something, talking, again, the stuckness, the complacency. You've been complacent in something, and maybe that was the way that you've operated for a long time in the past. But now it is also like you're not comfortable in the complacency anymore of certain situations. You're not comfortable in a lot of things, and I feel like this is a little bit of an irritation. I think you're handling it well. But handling it well is like not letting yourself fly off the handle or get crazy and irrational. But at the same time, it's also not making progress as to where you go from here. Gosh, I hope that is making sense, because this is a very difficult reading to try to kind of pinpoint your thoughts and the separation of things that are, I feel like, trying to occur for you, but you are not used to this, so it makes it difficult to process. I hope that is jiving appropriately. I really do think that it is. Be careful with your feet. Notice, I'm not a doctor, right? So let's start right there. I'm not a doctor. But pay attention to any numbness, tingling in the feet where things may not feel comfortable again, where maybe there's some swelling in the toe, the big toe specifically. I have no idea. Like, I don't know what that's about. That's for somebody. That's very specific. But something about the feet. You may need to let your feet air out. So I don't know if you got foot odor or what, but I just feel like your feet need air. Your feet need to be able to breathe. I don't know, maybe you're in work boots all the time. Maybe you're in dress shoes all the time. Excuse me. But you need to have more air to this part of your physical existence. I have no idea. This is such a strange reading. All right, Sag, what else for Sagittarius? Astrology, destiny. Sag, this push, give me 1 second. Okay, Sag, good grief. It's a weekend. I also want to say, as I pulled the astrology card, 9/11 came up on the clock. And September 11th seems to be a very specific marker all week this week. So I don't know how this pertains to you, but I would pay attention to next Wednesday, because something here is lining up. When we've been talking about the 9/9 portal as well, that's a lot of closure happening. The 9s, the 1s, I've seen it earlier today, and it just synchronizes with everything that I tell you all in these personal reads about themes and particular events. There's a reason that certain cards come out for certain readings when they do. It's very, very specific. Sag, I would take a look at your Mercury placement and your Mars placements right now. I don't know why that's coming through that way, but it is. Also recognize if you're dealing with any Pisces in your life, what is transpiring there, because I feel like something with that is also going stale. Aquarius is going to shift, oh my God. Pluto is going to shift back into Aquarius, and I want to say that's November 9th. I don't know why I keep wanting to say that, but I do. I honestly haven't checked the specific date, so I'm not sure. But there's something, and as I look at that, there is Sag on this particular card. There's a change in focus for you moving out of your season into Capricorn season, into Aquarius season. There's something very specific to this, and you need to be aware of that information as it comes up, okay? The timeline of the way things are lining up specifically for certain signs is going to change the direction in the course of your overall life in general. So I will say to you, if you have had a plan, expect your plans to change. I don't think, and it's kind of a cliche statement, like your life is never going to be the same, but Sag, something here is shifting. And you may be, as I've told Scorpio in the past, when you're going through that transition, that transformation, that rebirth, coming out of the womb, you know, think about it as physically having children, coming out of the womb into this world, that canal, I mean, we're adults here, right? Like, call it for what it is. That trip from the womb into this physical 3D world is a hell of a ride. Like, what's going on? I'm being taken out of my comfort zone where I've been complacent. Like, you're going through a rebirth here, and nothing is going to look the same. You physically may not look the same. Your home may not look the same. Your friendships may not look the same. Your entire dynamic of life is getting ready to shift from now until the end of the year. Your thoughts. It's almost like you may feel like you're losing yourself, but you're not losing yourself. You're finding the inner you that's always existed if you are open to this change that is taking place. Sag, this is a very deep reading, but it's a very... I'm hearing the word catastrophic, and I don't... Here's something interesting. If you have always ridden a financial scale of, you know, maybe, I don't know, you know, in your world, what part of the world you're in, I don't know, I'm just going to throw a number out there. Say, for the last 15 years, you've made $200,000. Now, all of a sudden, you're making $100,000. It's like you're being pulled out of a material world, is why I'm saying this. You're being pulled out of a material world and going, your focus needs to be on home and family. The things that you built your life upon, these structures that you thought meant something, that had specific labeling to them, that wealth isn't wealth isn't just money. Do you have a wealth of happiness? Do you have a wealth of abundance? Do you have a wealth of security? Do you have a wealth of family? Like, the idea around what you once had materially is shifting into something that is more heart space, because now all of a sudden, after all of these years, you've had some very significant situations that have come up that have been maybe tumultuous, argumentative, but regardless of what terminology we want to use to define those moments, they've lacked emotion. And that's where I kind of feel with this mastery card. Like I said, it's like you can't get out of that, like, ugh, like, what is this, right? This is you having to feel like you can't, and I said this to Scorpio not long ago as well, and another sign, you can't think your way through this. You have to feel your way through this. And it's like, I can just sit and envision the way this goes. You don't get to envision this anymore. You have to feel it. There could be some very difficult news coming in, whether this is job, family related, but I feel like there are massive choices, Sag, in the near future. Like, I can't help but, like, I feel this shakes you because it's not something that you're used to. Now, I will also say, because I can hear it right now, they've been moving some stuff out of like what's near me. They've been noisy as hell today. If you can hear that, my apologies, it's outside of my control. So, it sounds like thunder, but it's not. So, this is just, it's like a preparation, Sag, for the next, Spirit, 3 weeks that says, get ready. Because what you thought was structure, what falsified perception of structure that you had is no more. This is a big change for you. And it's not the way you expected. It's not the way that you envisioned. I just heard your castle on the hill doesn't count anymore. I don't know what that means for somebody, but the castle on the hill doesn't count anymore. Okay, so let's dive deeper here, Sag. Some of these readings, because you know, if you guys follow me, you know I do a lot of readings for Scorpio, and I try to keep all of you in the mix here. And your readings tend to be a little shorter than Scorpios do. But a couple of the signs here have come out very heavily in longer reads. And I'm seeing this kind of come to fruition with you as well. So heads up on that. Playful and loyalty. These are, again, these are things that may have felt like they strung you along. It could be situations. It's something that you continue to play in. But now you're also recognizing on the feminine side, Sag, oh gosh, this is making a full comeback around. November of last year, I don't remember the date specifically, but I put out a video for you, and it was like 2,000 some odd views on it, which for me at that time was exciting. Talk about growth. But that video really took off for you, and it was about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. 1717 on the clock, that's Aquarius. I would go back and listen to that from a year ago, November of 23. What has happened and changed from that point moving into now? And what comes until we hit November of this year? Because that, in November, right, mid-November, what is it, the 22nd, I think, is when we go into Sagittarius season. Sag, pay very careful attention to the past and now. How things have changed already. This is an indicator, a very massive indicator of what's to come. Okay, like, I am like, oh my God, like, this is coming full circle, Sag, whatever this means. This is coming full circle. I will tell you, too, oh, there's the devil and there's the movement. If you ended, God, like, this is crazy, but I'm going to throw this out there. If you were in a divorce this time last year, and I don't even know why I'm going to say this, if you were in a divorce this time last year or ending a relationship, you may be ending one again this year. Same time frame. It's like repeating. It's a quick repeat of something. So whether it's a divorce, a friendship, it's a marriage, it's whatever the hell it is, right? Job, I don't know. Something's ending again. Ugh. Some of you could be having relationship issues with your children as well. Or maybe you're the child, regardless of your age, who's having a relationship issue with your parent. Oh, look, I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if the Tower card came out. That catastrophic feeling that I talked about. There's a 9 again. Sag, you're the 9th sign in the zodiac. Here comes another 9. This is an ending. It's a significant ending. That 9-9 portal. Chaos. This is the card of the Tower in this particular deck. It's coming in. It's coming. This is a preparation to beautify your life and break through falsified barriers of things that are not serving you. It's like, it would be like the same as relationship hopping, right? We've not taken enough time to heal from the last thing, 1919 on the clock, swear to goodness. We haven't taken enough time to heal from the last situation, and we just, cold foot jump into the next thing. It's a frying pan into the fire. Here's the next thing. I'm just going to keep jumping into things to see what comes to be of it. This is not going to fly anymore. This is not going to work. This is not going to be sustainable. Because it's like you're dealing with this massive change super quick, and you are the type to, and I love you, Sag, I'm not knocking you in any way, but you like to be complacent and do it your way. And that's fine, right? Like, you can do things your way, but there are going to be times that require for flexibility, and I don't feel like it's there. Summons, like, but here's the crazy thing. You could be dealing with a Scorpio 13, right? It doesn't have to be, but there is that transformation and change. The 14th is I don't even know. The 14th, they're saying, is a sense of denial. A sense of denial. I don't know how you guys have to discern this, where it fits, where it makes sense for you. There's a sense of denial, and it's like someone may be looking at you and going, I need more. Or you could be going, I need more. There could be some finger pointing around a situation as well. But somebody is denying this. The 14th is a denial. And I didn't even realize that card does actually say denial on it. I wasn't even paying attention to that. This is fruitlessness. I feel so fidgety right now. This is fruitlessness, and maybe you're having a nervous conversation with somebody, and something is starting to turn here, Sag, where it's just like, like, why do we got to do this? Like, I'm hearing, why do we have to do this again? Why does it have to be this way? Why is this a repeating thing or theme? Sag, what part in this are you playing? What part have you played in a particular situation since November of last year? Because this cannot be carried forward. Okay, like, there's a big emphasis on this read. Holy smokes. High Priestess of Air. I said that's that thinking, right? Like, trying to think about maybe the past, the present, the future. You can't think your way through this. Trapped energy, number 7, the moon, 5, that change. This is pushing you, and I've seen this energy repeat this week, pushing you to something more peaceful. The thing with you, Sag, is I think that you have lived under a falsified idea of what stability, security was, and what you thought was peace, because it's like, I just get to go on about my day. I do what I've always done. I show up at the same places at the same time. I just do what I got to do. That became your signifier of peace when it is not peace. It is not for you. You're not doing it for you. You're doing it because it was easy. You're doing it because that's what you've always done. You do what you've always done. You get what you've always got. And now you're wondering why. There's some deep soul searching, soul recognition, soul change that is trying to take place here, Sagittarius. I'm going to get one of these. The prayer. Like I said, you know, you can't make it up. I said it's like being birthed out of the womb into the 3D world. Look at that card. The womb. The prayer. Like, there is something at some point, and this is LXV, Roman numerals, and the flip is XLV. And it's like a mixed up mumble jumbo, what you've asked for may be coming in a way that you weren't expecting. Like, it's mixed up somehow. And what's wild about this to me is that, think about it from, like, this is a weird thing, but a teenage girl, right? She's got her boyfriend, and it's a high school sweetheart, and she's, you know, envisioning white picket fence, babies, like a good job, like whatever, I don't know, whatever bullshit we think we know at 16, 17, 18 years old, and we have no fucking idea what we're doing, right? This could go back to a vision that you had early on in life as to what life was going to look like. And it maybe has taken 20 years, 10, 20 years to manifest. But it's like you got caught in some complacency. It could even be longer than that, right? It just depends on you. Where you've asked for these things. It took you a massive detour to get to these things. And now that it's happening, after you've gotten complacent doing life the way you've done it for how long, it's like, what is this? Like, be careful what you wish for, Sag. Like, there's something coming up here for you. And this is a creation of something new. Maybe it is a child. I don't know. The cave. Like, you're being pushed out of something. Whether this is a job, a relationship, a dynamic. You are being pushed out of something that is no longer serving you. That you have just done it because that's what you know to do. It's like somebody who has spent 30 years in an industry. that they thought they wanted to do. That's what they know. And now you're seeing it's not doing you any good. It's the math isn't mathing, the dots aren't connecting, whatever you want to call this. But it's forcing you to go in, and that's a 32, which is a 5. This is creating significant change. Spirit, the Warrior, it's like you gave up on something in the past, Sag, and just said, whatever it is, I'm going to do it. The Kiss, this is compassion, the Mask. Sag, I think too, you're also the mother. You may have some mother wounding. Holy shit. And I said about the child thing, right? Like you could be a parent with child issues or child with parent issues, whatever. There's something here that's needing to be healed, and you could be there's certain parts of this in the dark, Sag, that are starting to fall away. There's something very deeply intertwined that it has taken so long for you to transform this compassion. You're going to start to see the feminine in a different way. And I think I said in the beginning, didn't I, about the feminine energies? And because I talked about the divine feminine, masculine. This is nurturement. This is nectar. This is the sweetness of life. This is, if you have mother wounds and abandonment wounds, issues with females, to my masculines or whoever's dealing with females, you could be dealing with, I don't typically attach gender, try not to, but if I feel it, I feel it, and this is what I'm feeling. And it could be someone who it could be a man, right? It doesn't matter, who is more in their feminine energy. But this is highlighting that mother wound. Were they not emotionally available? Do you pick up on emotionally unavailable people? Like this is a big deal, Sag. And I'm not even going to do your reading like I did the others, because it doesn't even make sense to do it this way, or do it that way in this case, I should say. All right, for Sag, the Tower. You propped up a foundation in the past, Sag, in complacency, that 4 cups. I'm just going to stay put. I'm good right here. It doesn't work anymore. It does not work. 9 of Cups, you don't even know what makes you happy anymore. You don't know if you want to work at this job. You don't know if you want to move on. You don't know what to do. You don't know if you like this relationship. You used to. Should I still? I don't know. I want to move on. Like, this is, Sag, I feel like that Chaos card, that funnel cloud, in part, in due time, is you when the spell breaks, the dam breaks, and you just wipe everything out. Either that or Spirit's wiping everything out. Future for Sag. 7 of Pentacles. This is a slow rebuild. 2 of Wands. Where do I go from here? The Death card. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. 8 of Pentacles. Somebody else could be very invested in their work, time, energy, efforts, and they are putting a stop to anything that is not healthy, also, is what I'm hearing. 2 of Wands is you are coming to a crossroads of your life here, Sag, where it's going to dictate, Aquarius energy, where you go the next 20 years of your life. Are you sure you're looking through a clear lens? This is about getting very clear about what you want, because it's going to determine what stays and what goes. This is a big, big shift for you, definitely. All right, Sagittarius, advice here. We're going to wrap this up. Woo! Saggy. Pictures, missing the past, looking at you, nostalgia, making new memories. You're being forced to let go of an old way of being. Like, the things that you used to be sweet and kind to, the reasons that you did it, right? This could be just a behavioral pattern with you, Sag, that's changing. That is what kept the people that were emotionally unavailable, that would run, and you became the chaser in this dynamic. And I don't care if it's a job or whatever, you know, I don't want to get into this twin flames nonsense. But where that plays a role here, you can't do it that way anymore. Your spirit, God, the divine, the astrology, whatever. you can't be nice to things that are not part of your past. I'm not saying go out and be mean and vicious to everybody, but that period of time is over. It's done. Maybe at one point you had love for that situation. Maybe at one point you know, even now you may be looking back into it going, how did we get to this? Why is it this way? It doesn't even matter anymore. If you are moving on or have moved on, it's time to go. You can't stay there. You've got to cut ties altogether, because it keeps you in an old memory, in an old space, and for so long as you're sitting in that, those wounds are never going to heal, and you cannot move on with your life. And the way the astrology is playing out next year, you do not want to take any baggage. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Scorps. You do not want to take any of this bullshit with you moving forward, because it's going to impact the next 20 years of your life. You have to make that decision. And what? So what? Somebody left? As I say that, key on a ring, many options. What? So somebody left and now they're not happy for the decision they made. They're you know, like the mean-hearted things that they've said and done. All of a sudden now they want some kind of grace. You get to decide. The dragonfly, lighthearted, adapt, change, finding out, things coming to light and healing. You realize that this isn't the only option for you anymore. I just said about cutting ties. Look at that card behind Poker Face. Cutting ties. You have to take a chance to walk away from something. Like, you've been so tied up in, it's almost like that situation became part of who you are. Like, your day is determined on that somehow. What about you, Sag? What about you? Oh my, what a reading. I just, the divine. Sag, individuality, you will understand how this pattern has played out, and it's not worth repeating. It is not worth repeating. And I went to put that card back, the cycles card, and it just went flying across the floor in the upside down position. Some of you will stay, some of you will go. Sag, go. Go, 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 and go. All right, guys, I'm leaving it there. Holy smokes. Hopefully this reading was useful, helpful. You guys discern accordingly. Again, like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you for all the ways that you love and support the channel. I don't know what I would do without all of you. I appreciate you all so very much. Personal reads are open and available. That info, again, description box below, about section of the page. Sag, holy smokes, what a reading. I'm sending you so many love and prayers. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.